Welcome back to TransforMATTIve. My name is Matti McLean. I am joined again by William Shaheen. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's good to have you. Welcome back to school as well, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, happy to hear that things are going well in that regard. And yeah, we are giving you, you have the monologue Zombliss.
Yes.
Yes. How are you feeling with the monologue right now after a few weeks of working on it?
Pretty good. I mean, as we get closer, it's always nice kind of when you get out of the memorization stage, because then once you've got it solidified in your head, then you get to kind of play with it and you feel more comfortable. In the early stages, it's kind of about, okay, am I saying the lines right in the right order? Do I have everything down? But once you have that down, it's much more fun and it feels much more natural.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot to dive into this one. It's a silly monologue, but it's also probably one of the lightest points in the entire book. So that's good.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. You're a high spot for me. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's silly, but still got a good point to it. So that's always a
Yeah.
good combination, I find. Right. How are you feeling about just diving in and giving it a go?
Yeah. Sounds good. I
Excellent.
can do that. Okay.
All right, on your own time, take a breath, take your time, and go for it.
You know, the thing no one tells you about being a zombie is that it's actually pretty sweet. I'm fine right now. I'm good. I don't feel anything. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't have to worry about dental. Other people are out there crying out, eat the rich. I'm out there actually doing it. I'm actually affecting change. And it feels good to just relax and be my authentic self. I don't feel vanity anymore. I might have grown up chubby as a kid, but now the weight just falls right off. Last week, I lost 15 pounds. Most of it was my foot, but still, I'll take the win. The dining options are incredible as well. What did you have for dinner? Something cooked and stale? I went out for Chinese. There's no pressure to fit in. I can just relax and let go. I go with the flow sometimes without even thinking about it. People talked badly about groupthink in the before times, but now it's a godsend. I'm so at one with the universe, I can just walk outside, and before I know it, I'm hanging with dozens of friends as we go for dinner. I mean, there's problems, of course. Conversation is lacking. This isn't the group for intellectual stimulation. Fashion is atrocious. Sylvie's still wearing the same thing she died in the first time. No one reads. I mean, only a few of us have eyes or ears or mouths. And I mean, sure, we're selfish, but only because we have to be. All that being said, though, it's kind of relaxing. I can go with the flow. I don't have to worry about depression or anxiety or existential dread. I'm already dead, and my brain has never been this quiet before. And hey, if I don't like it, I can always just go out and get another one.
Excellent work. Great job.
Thank
I can
you.
tell you've been working on it very hard. There's still some lines that are getting skipped, but that's just, we're still in
Oh,
the
okay.
adjustment phase. It's just one of those peaks and valleys sorts of things, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
Some things aren't quite in the right order, but not to any extent where it's detrimental. So, as much as you
Okay.
can as much as you can get there, feel free to go for it, but also don't stress yourself out if it's not word perfect. I don't care about
Okay.
that. It's just one of those things where, as close to it as we can get, but
Yeah, obviously.
obviously we're flexible. Everything's always adjustable. The jokes are still landing. Uh
Okay.
the one time I would say it took away from the joke was I'm actually a leader in social change. I'm affecting change and spearheading some amazing social movements. Other people are out there crying out, eat the rich. I'm out there actually doing it. Just that having that eat the rich be the punchline.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's the only part where I'd say the joke got a little muddled. But apart from that, very solid work. Uh,
Okay.
right now, I think it's just a case of finding those little points in certain lines that you can really punch. So,
Yeah.
one thing I do when I'm kind of working on a monologue is I'll actually take it and go line by line and be like, what is the word here that's most important? So what is the one part here that what is the anchor of this sentence for the entire joke for the word? What makes it work?
Okay.
So uh not every line has one. I always like to insist that they do, but not everyone does. But for instance, I'm out there crying, eat the rich. I'm out there actually doing it.
Okay.
But there, you could also justify it as being like, I'm out there actually doing it, or I'm out there actually doing it.
Yeah.
Whatever word you choose changes the idea slightly. None of them are bad. They're just different choices. So what works best for you in those moments?
Okay. And I'm glad you mentioned that because that's typically what I try and do too. Like even I mean it's weird saying it alone in your room, but that's what I try and do. I try and when I'm practicing it,
There's
try and say it different times and be like, okay, which one sounds funnier in my head? You
yeah,
know?
and even just batting around with someone who, like, if you have a roommate or anything, or even if you want to come back and do it with me again, like, you can do that. Find those points where
Yeah.
you have your high points, find those points where it's slow, and really just every word, every sentence potentially has a gold mine for you, especially in a comedy piece. But yeah, you're getting a really good handle on it. So I think it's good.
Okay. Thank
We
you.
can still push it further, and the biggest part of that is actually just getting it on its you have it in here now.
Yeah.
One of the big things is just getting it on its feet. And once you're standing up, even though you're just like, oh, I lost my foot last week, we're obviously not going to cut your foot off. So just
Yeah.
don't worry about physicality that way. Your words are enough to
Okay.
carry it. But yeah, even the point where it's just like, the weight just falls right off. Last week, I lost 15 pounds. Finding those points you can really hit to drive the joke home. Joke is all
Okay.
about build up, right? Build up and subversion. So I lost 15
Yes.
pounds. Most of that was my foot, but I'll take the win. Like there's,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm all about subverting expectations. There's like a lot of comedy is.
Hmm.
Uh, your I went out for Chinese was great. You can,
Okay. That's the one I was the most nervous about, but okay, thank you. I'm glad that
I
was
mean,
good.
it's. Do I toe the line into racism? I don't know. I
Well,
hope
I'll tell
not.
you, I was practicing that one with my friends, and they thought that was like so funny. Not like I don't know, that was hard, not like hard for me to say, but I was like, I don't know if I'm saying it funny enough. But when I was practicing it for them, they were like, that was the funniest thing in the whole one, in
Yeah.
the whole monologue. I was like, well, I'm glad it's coming off right.
It's a lot of fun, and you're doing it really well. Don't be afraid to almost have pride. Like there's layers of this that because your monologue is fairly irony free, which is really funny because most of the times whenever you say something in a monologue, it's the opposite. So if my
Yes.
monologue is I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, and you keep hearing that, when you keep hearing something, you know that you're not actually okay. But in this case, you're just saying, I'm fine right now. I'm good. It's different. So it's securing that idea. So it's,
Yeah.
I'm fine right now. I'm good. I don't feel anything. I don't feel afraid anymore. Yours actually changes, showing different elements. So instead of repeating the same thing, you're not just hammering the same point home. You're actually taking it, building upon it, and you just keep going. And yeah, it's trying when you have something that's very clear emotionally and very clear in terms of what you're presenting. What we're doing now is we're finding the layers of positive emotions that you can add to that. So, like, are you proud of this? Are you excited by it? Are you like what is the emotion that kind of helps to add that final layer to it? And yeah, you seem to be leaning towards pride, so don't be afraid to really have those moments where you're just like, I'm good, like I'm
Okay.
great, this is fun,
Yeah.
this is cool. And you
Yeah.
can even if you want to do like try it into something I like to say is try it in characters that are typically that. So
Okay.
stoner characters, blonde characters, comedic archetypes. They have
Yeah.
a lot of these layers of pride. And yeah, I think that's a really good fit for you.
Okay.
Um, the other thing is this one does have a turn in it. So, I mean, there's problems, of course. So it's the realization that, like, it's not perfect. So let's acknowledge the things that aren't perfect and then work from there. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those cases where it's just like,
Yeah. Nothing, not everything can be perfect.
Yeah. So just have that moment of separation. So just like I was hanging
Okay.
with dozens of friends and we can all go for dinner. I mean there is problems, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just having that let the weight of it kind of sink in on you a little bit. But
Okay.
you're at the point where you've built this up enough that we can kind of start working on those layers and they're there. It's
Hmm.
it's
Okay.
it's sitting really nicely and really fun on you. So yeah. Good work.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I am very much looking forward to meeting you on Saturday, which is
Yeah. Or
crazy.
Friday.
I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think it's Friday, but
That makes sense.
all the days blend together. I feel you. It's hard to remember what day of the week it is.
Yeah, I don't know where I am right now. Still in
Yeah.
Philadelphia. It's just like,
But
I know. Really good work.
thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person as well and getting this thing in front of people. It'll be real fun.
Did you have any final questions with the piece, or is there anything that you're still feeling uneasy about?
Not really. I think talking with you, this was very helpful and answered most of my questions, and I feel confident about it. And like you said, I think the big thing is adding those little moments, and then of course, like having it in front of people on my feed will, that'll take it to where it needs to be. So I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to having you, and thank you so much
Cool.
for being a part of this project.
Thank you for having me.